So here now we get to the messy bit. I'm going to be using a basic glue, general purpose Bostik. The first time I did the Jumpi on the Cheonji, in fact on the SMG as well. First time I did the Jumpi, I used Superglue, and Superglue crystallizes and it dries hard. And when I took the cover off the Cheonji, the grip off the Cheonji to customize it a bit, it had set hard all over the top of the surface, so I basically had to scrape it off in order to be able to cut the softer material underneath. And I'm not too keen on the use of super glue. So the last time I did the Cheonji, I used Bostik general purpose glue. This one, as you can see on my fingers, is sort of dries to like a rubbery, stretchy material. So it means that you need more glue than you would with super glue, and also that it takes longer to set. So and it also means that it might get very messy as you get strands and stickiness coming out as you have to continuously apply and apply and apply. So the way I did it before, I tried to do it in sections. So this time round, I'm just going to try and apply the grip with a good measure of glue, some up and down, and then I'm going to slowly apply the tape and hold it tight and stretch it and apply it and see how I get on. Super glue's easier, but I don't like the results of super glue if you haven't taken it off. This stuff is more hassle, but once it sets, it kind of has a bit of flex to it as well, so it's not quite as hard as super glue. So let's have a go. So generously applying it to the whole grip. Okay, that seems to be quite a lot now, so put the top on again. And now, just a sec. Let's start the process. So I like to start so that the arrow pass has got a good solid position. So I'm going to start on the opposite side. I haven't cut any strips, I'll do the cutting at the end. So I'll just position it in place. And there we go. I've missed out some glue in the top here. Oh, the glue. I think I'm running out of glue. This is not going to end well. Let's try again. Trying to get the grip as tight as possible. And in the end, if we need to sort of just reinforce it with a bit of super glue, we can still do that. But the bulk of it, a bit more glue here on the edge. Oops, easy. Nice, making sure it's nice and tight. Ooh. That the wraps are in good contact with each other. And if there's a little bit of a gap, it doesn't really matter. So now I think I've got most of it. Now it needs some time to set. Oh, come on. I need a bit more glue here on this edge. Trying to squeeze the last little bits out of the tube. There we go. So there we go. So I'm going to put a little bit more on the top here, on this edge. Right, okay, so this is what it's looking right now. Looks fairly tight. I know in the camera you can see the gaps a lot more clearly, but to the eyesight it doesn't. It looks fairly tight. Just need to make sure that the top bit here sets tight, and so I'm holding my thumb on the top and on the bottom here. There's a bit of a glue that squeezes between the bands, but they should be fine. So just going to give it a few minutes, and then I'll find some scissors to cut the excess off and make sure it's nice and flush around the edge. I think I'm fairly happy with that. It's probably the best one I've done so far. And like I said, with this glue, the thing, it just turns into like a kind of a rubbery film that just sets on your fingers. But it's not like super glue. You don't get your fingers stuck together. It won't damage the bow if you accidentally get a bit of glue on it somewhere on the whipping or the birch bark. And it has got a bit of flex, which is a good thing. Whereas with super glue, it just sets like hard crystal, and I don't like that. So yeah, I think we can leave it a few minutes, and then I'll come back once it's dry and cut the excess off. And tomorrow I'll be shooting the bow, and that will be the proof of the pudding. But so far it looks good. Right, so I've given it half an hour or so to set, and it looks okay. So I've got a couple of scissors, so I'm going to just cut out the excess around the grip. Always careful with scissors and any sharp objects not to get it close to the birch bark, because the birch bark is quite delicate, and it's very easy to accidentally scratch it. Particularly here it gets tight. There we go. So it's not too bad. A bit jagged in places. Let's do the bottom. Let's start from here. Go. So that's the grip now. Bit of a gap there, but that's fine. Oh, it's a bit loose there, so I'll just on the bottom there. So I'll just take that bit off. Go. So there we go. So we'll see how it's tomorrow, but so far it feels good. Feels good in the hand. So yeah. Good size. Okay, thank you for watching.